Hello and welcome to How to Become an Entrepreneur podcast, a show about become an entrepreneur. Now, here is your host, Christina.
Hi, this is Christina. Welcome to the show. Hope everyone is doing good. Today's episode, we are going to talk about become an entrepreneur. Let's dive in. Entrepreneurs are the lifeblood of the economy of a country. They own and operate everything from small grocery stores to digital startups. No matter what the size and scope, there are entrepreneurs behind every business and private company in the country. Examples of entrepreneurs are everywhere. McDonald's was founded by an entrepreneur. Facebook was built by an entrepreneur. Coca-Cola was launched by an entrepreneur. Name a famous company, and there was an entrepreneur behind it. But for every entrepreneur that becomes a success, there are many others who fail. Gallup polling has found that 50% of business don't make it past 5 years. According to Fortune magazine, a staggering 9 out of 10 startups will eventually fail. Those numbers may seem disheartening, but it doesn't mean you should never consider entrepreneurship for your career. With genuine passion, hard work, a great idea, and a knack for learning, anyone can build a business and become a success. Becoming an entrepreneur usually involves earning a degree. Before you can start becoming an entrepreneur, however, you need to understand what an entrepreneur is, what it isn't, and what it takes to become an entrepreneur. You should also understand what educations, including entrepreneur degrees, will help, as well as the pitfalls that you need to avoid. Think you can be your own boss and blaze your own trail as an entrepreneur? Then let's explore the exciting and unpredictable world of entrepreneurship. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a term we hear a lot in this country, but do we really know what it is? When we think of entrepreneurs, we think of business owners of all types. Restaurateurs, auto shop owners, digital startups, self-employed photographers, all of these would count as entrepreneur careers. But what is the defining factor? The word entrepreneur comes from the French word, to undertake. No, not a grave-digging undertaker, but a person who undertakes risk and initiative with the end goal of financial profit. Entrepreneurs are defined as anyone who takes a risk with the goal of financial profit. Obviously, making money is not the only motivator for entrepreneurs, but risk-taking, usually in the form of financial investments, is the underlying theme of all entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are also working to build something that will last. One of the defining factors for an entrepreneur is to take the necessary steps to create a business that will, when managed properly, continue making them money while they are not working. A cafe owner, for example, will make money while the cafe is doing business, even if she's picking up kids from school. Freelancers versus entrepreneurs. In today's digitally connected world, millions of people have taken their skills online and become freelancers. They take jobs as they come and work on their own terms, usually in writing, design, or as a consultant of some type. But are freelancers entrepreneurs? Freelancers carry many of the same characteristics as entrepreneurs, more on that below, but they aren't building something that will eventually make a profit while they sleep, take a vacation, or leave for the day. While the two terms are fairly ambiguous, they are distinct. By most definitions, a freelancer is not an entrepreneur. How do you know if being entrepreneur is right for you? Step-by-step guide on how to become an entrepreneur. How can you tell if the life of an entrepreneur is for you? There are some certain traits, qualities, and values that most successful entrepreneurs share. While they don't guarantee success, certain entrepreneurial characteristics lay a strong foundation for life of risk-taking and reward. First and foremost, entrepreneurs value independence. They want to be their own bosses, set their own schedule, and run their own lives. They are people who dread the thought of a boss overseeing their work. Although entrepreneurs have hundreds, thousands, or millions of bosses, they're called customers. Entrepreneurs are self-reliant. They enjoy being responsible for their own success and take pride in building something greater than themselves. They must also be able to handle risk. If the thought of not getting paid on a regular basis, failing to sell your product, or simply falling flat on your face frightens you to paralysis, you may have difficulty dealing with the up and down nature of entrepreneurship. Due to the higher levels of risk, long-lasting entrepreneurs are also frugal. Despite popular culture telling us that entrepreneurs are popping champagne and cruising on expensive yachts, most business owners are savers, not spenders. This was highlighted by the research of Dr. Thomas Stanley and published in The Millionaire Next Door, 1996, which found that most millionaires in this country are owners of small businesses, not lawyers, doctors, or bankers, and they are habitual savers. 81% of them purchase their vehicles instead of leasing, and 90% of those who do purchase spent less than $45,000. The book may need updating, but it shows the ever-important need for frugal living as an entrepreneur. How to become an entrepreneur. So, what can you do to become an entrepreneur? What are the steps to becoming an entrepreneur? Because of the many types of entrepreneurs, there are many different paths you can take. For example, the owner of a delivery company wouldn't take the exact same path as an interior decorator. But there are some similar steps all of them should take. In general, these are the steps you will take to become an entrepreneur. Step 1. Find your industry or niche. Step 2. Research your market. Step 3. Educate yourself. Step 4. Build your business slowly. Step 1. Find your industry or niche. The most obvious first step is to find your specific niche. Many people want to become entrepreneurs, but they don't know what industry to get involved with. More often than not, your niche will be something you have worked in for years. If you have been a carpenter for a local construction company, home remodeling and restoration may be your area. If you have worked at a restaurant for many years, you probably have a good understanding of how to run a food service business. Your current experience is a great place to starting looking for your niche. It will also help if you love your niche. To have years of success, you have to love what you do. Eventually, money won't be a big enough motivator to keep you working 60 to 70 hours a week to sustain the business. You'll need more than money to keep you motivated, you'll need a purpose. Step 2. Research your market. You should also research the available market, analyzing the area for demand and need. Maybe, you want to open a fine Italian dining restaurant in your hometown. Are the other restaurants succeeding? Is there another fine dining in your area? Can the local customers afford to eat at a high-end restaurant, or would they prefer a more moderate place to eat? Do they even like Italian food? Finding the answers to these questions, and more, will be essential to your long-term success. Step 3. Educate yourself. There is a common myth in popular culture that successful, self-made entrepreneurs never graduate from college. The numbers, however, don't back this up. According to a team of researchers from Duke, Akron, and Southern California, over 95% of entrepreneurs in high-growth industries have at least a bachelor's degree. Entrepreneur education and training. There are 3 types of educations that you should consider when looking at a life as an entrepreneur. While these may not be essential to your work, they certainly won't hurt your chances of long-term success. Education in your industry. The first type of education to consider is something directly related to your field. If you are opening an auto shop, you will obviously need some education and certifications related to car repair. If you are thinking about being a self-employed electrician, you will need the latest education and training with wiring and circuitry. If you want to run a restaurant, training in food service will be useful. Pretty obvious, right? Entrepreneurship degree. Once you've got your industry education down, many prospective entrepreneurs consider an entrepreneurial certificate or degree. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining us today on How to Become an Entrepreneur podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe our channel and also press the bell button. If you like this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Be sure to tune in for our next episode. See you next time.